let's move on and let's talk about Wendy Williams. How you doing? So, Wendy Williams is back in the news again. So we already talked about, the Sabrina Morrissey was out here saying that Wendy is incapacitated, and she pretty much, like, the way she was talking, like she was a full vegetable version of herself. But from the looks of this following video that I'm about to show y'all, she seemed far from incapacitated, because they were saying around the time when, after her son's graduation, she was cussing out her caretakers. Hold on, because I just realized something. I misspelled graduation. So let's put that back in there. And take two. Yeah, I was like, what's graduation? Now it's graduation. I'm glad I caught that. Look, we make ain't no shame in my game when I be messing up over here in these live streets. So yeah, and back to the whole Wendy Williams situation. She pretty much cussed out her damn caretakers because she said that when they were trying to get the car, they got the wrong car and they left her scooter unattended, and she paid a lot of money for it. So if y'all gonna make a whole lot of money off of her, um, y'all need to be doing your damn job. And in the beginning, I made a mistake because, child, why is Snatch Game trending? Oh, I know why Snatch Game is trending, because Canada's Drag Race, they said that Snatch Game was a mess. But we'll talk about that another time. So I do have the clip of Wendy going in, because I actually thought she was, from when I saw the clip, I thought she was cussing out her son and her nephew because they was in the picture. But I happened to see a whole video, and it wasn't her son and her nephew that she was cussing out, who both got the same Sideshow Bob dreadlocks. And her son was basically trying to figure out what the hell was going on in regards to these, her people messing up per usual. So let's get to the clip and we'll come back and we'll talk.
And then both of you walked away, leaving my in the middle of the street like this. Just get the car, please. Make sure it's the right car.
Wendy, what happened? What they do?
They got the wrong car. So I knocked on the door, and it was totally wrong car. They left my scooter as they walked over there, leaving my most precious, this cost a million.
Wow.
They just left my out there. Get the car over here, not over.
Hold on. Did y'all catch it when Wendy did that full Yui? I was like, you want to know something? Now, who definitely serves it in regards of like that, with the scooter? She is master the art of rolling around with that scooter. Now, in my opinion, is the best with the whole scooter situation. Is it her or Roland Ray? Hold on, let's go back, because I got to see that again. Especially with Wendy out here cussing people. Go ahead, Auntie Wendy.
Wow.
They just left my out there. Get the car over here, not over there. So I can go easily into the street for the car. You're supposed to be ordering the car. That's what you're supposed to be doing. They want to work for me, that's what they're doing. They're making money for me, get the goddamn car.
The guy who was in the Uber, he was like,
And then both of you walked away, leaving my in the middle of the street like this. Just get the car, please. Make sure it's the right.
Okay, so Wendy out here pissed off at y'all for not doing what needs to be done in regards to her whole situation. So what happened was, they were at a restaurant. They were leaving the restaurant. They left her without her scooter as they was leaving. And that's her mobility scooter, because she has the lymphedema. It makes her hard for her to, she said I don't know how much percentage she has, but I remember before the Where's Wendy Williams and all the other stuff was coming out, she said that it left her limited mobility or feeling of her feet. It was at 10% feeling that she had in her feet, which makes it difficult for her to walk for a long period of time. So she needs a scooter to get around. And yeah, she's big mad at y'all because y'all not doing what needs to be done. So if this is how y'all treating her just to get to the damn car, then how are y'all treating her behind the scenes when she's in the care of all these other people? Because the other day, the last show that we did, and this was like before we went on a little mini vacay for Christmas, her son Kevin is the no good ass ex-husband of hers. Kevin got on the internet because Charlamagne had sent him a little best wishes, whatever, for his graduation, and was giving people an update about his mother, and was like that she is sober. She has not been drinking. She's definitely been taking care of herself, and she wants to come home and be around her family. And she did say, like, you know what? It cost the effing mint, which is such an old school term. We're talking about that this was definitely, like, that scooter is expensive. And yes, scooters are expensive. Because I was wondering too, because sometimes when I be seeing these little kids in these wheelchairs because of their they're disabled, whatever the case is, I'm like, yeah, as they get older, you have to keep upgrading those wheelchairs. So I can imagine, based off of insurance or whatever the case is, you're even gonna get into a whole conversation about insurance denial, all this stuff. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But um, you know, how expensive a lot of these wheelchairs are. Everything, it seemed like, to even live in this world is freaking expensive. So this says members of her team then took the scooter outside, and she later accused them of leaving it unattended before heading off somewhere else in the street. The video then cut to Williams once again talking to her caretakers and said, "Get the car over here, not over there, so I can go easily into the street for the car." So Wendy be out here just cussing people out, being rude as hell, but that's her. So yeah, so now the host of basically Stunt Lifestyle actually happened to get the video and stuff, and I think that's who you saw the what it said, We in Miami podcast. They were the one that had the exclusive video, so shout out to them. And basically was talking about, at the end of the video, her son had taken the scooter outside to allow her to walk on her own while leaving the eatery. So it says, so I think according to Wendy's family, she was really upset about the disorganization and the lack of care. She indicated the car was not close to assure she was like even getting into the right car. It was just really messy, and she was really upset, and her family was really upset too. Now, last week on Thursday, Williams made a public rare appearance as she attended her son's, Kevin Jr. Graduation from Florida International University. Now, the former talk show host was seen in her mobility scooter while wearing a dark gray sparkling sequin ensemble. She was also joined by her father, Thomas Williams Sr., at the event, and her sister, Wanda Finney, was there as well. Now, photos from inside show the mom of one beaming as Kevin Jr. received his diploma in a traditional blue college robe. Now, at one point, she also appeared emotional as she watched her only son walk the stage. The star shares the college graduate with ex-husband Calvin Hunter, whom she was married to from 1999 until the divorce was finalized in 2020. And as stated before, Williams' son also gave an update on his mother's health after basically, she was accused of being permanently incapacitated by Sabrina Morrissey. And I told y'all earlier, Charlamagne congratulated Kevin Jr. on his accomplishment. And that's when Kevin took to, the comment section to basically say thank you, and then shed more light on what his mother's been going through, basically saying that, she's sober and she basically wants to come home, and they're fighting to make that happen. And from what was stated, they were trying to say next Kelvin was going to law school. And I'm like, I didn't know anything about whether or not, I'm wondering if, because I was confused by the situation. I think Charlamagne said that in the comments, next stop law school. Lil Kev hasn't come out and said that that's where he's going, but I could definitely see that that would be the direction that he would want to take, especially because if I'm going to law school, it's because I'm wanting to fight the disparities that my mother is dealing with these, the system regarding the whole conservatorship type situation. And I do feel like when, a lot of times when you have a family member or you're going through something, it does inspire people to go into that venue or go into that field to want to go up against it. It's kind of like what I was saying about Gia Giudice when I was bringing about her father being deported. That inspired her to get into law because of her father being deported, and then her trying to understand the system and stuff. So sometimes, some people jump to that, and I could definitely see Lil Kev doing that, for the sake of his mother. So, and there go Lil Kev in little short shorts. We start being messy. Look, he's of age. Winnie don't have an ugly child though. He's a cutie. So yeah, let's leave it there. So when I went over to the We in Miami podcast, who was pretty much talking about, the dissatisfaction between the caretakers. Some people in the comments said, Wendy don't sound incapacitated to me. She knows exactly what's going on. She should be with her family. #free Wendy. Another person said, who's monitoring the Guardians? Hashtag free Wendy. And that's why I was like, yeah, we definitely need to keep an eye on these guardians, because I do feel like a lot of times when you have people, even if it's family, because hello, we're about to talk about Brittany coming up later on in the show, that Brittany had someone who was part of her family that was her caretaker, and you saw what Jamie did to her. And now you have strangers who have no attachment to Wendy except for being caretakers and getting paid to do whatever they want, so they don't have to follow the rules. And they treating her any old way. So you need people up in there that that understand the legal jargon and all other stuff. So there's like, you're not going to sit up here and take advantage of my mother. So another person said, I bet the Bozo Guardian hates this trip. Ha, been documented. Grade A full expose is in order. Wendy, despite any ailments, looks and sounds good. I pray she's able to be reunited with her family in 2025. Another person said, having Wendy Williams exit the restaurant and go to the wrong car is a setup. Having her wait outside for the right car is also a setup. How? I need you to explain that a little bit more. Another person said, absolutely, she should be upset. Wendy is Wendy. Stop lying on her people. Love you, Wendy. So happy for us to see for ourselves. She is strong and still confident. But that's not sitting there saying that she doesn't have the dementia and all other stuff. She's still, deep down inside, Wendy's still there, and she's going to give you the business if you're not doing what needs to be done, especially if you're working for me. Hashtag free Wendy until it's backwards. We need to do the same thing to get her free like they did for Britney Spears, for good, bad, or indifferent. Or I should say for better or for worse. And another person said, well, she's in her right mind, that's for sure. I love Wendy. Another person said, protect Wendy at all costs. She's an icon for television. And last but certainly not least, because I'm going to sit there and read all this. Let's do two more because they're going to say my favorite part. So another person said, was this really something to get this upset about? SMH. Well, if you are Wendy Williams and you're an industry person, the littlest thing sets them off. Yes, if the right nail shade isn't what needs to be done, they pop off. But this is how a lot of these celebrities are. A lot of them are entitled, a lot of them spoiled, a lot of them act like a bunch of damn arrogant SOBs. So yes, a lot of them get upset over the little thing. I'm not saying it's right, but yeah, she got upset over the fact that she's trying to get, she's about the wrong car situation. But I think it's also other things are at play here. She doesn't like the fact that she's being controlled by these other people, and she wants to be around her family. She doesn't want to be around these damn strangers who are making money off her, and she doesn't have control over her life. Because Wendy's always been someone who has been absolutely independent and didn't want people telling her what to do. So I think there's a lot of things at play here. And last but certainly not least, someone said, she looks great. Get her, Wendy. How you doing? So there's that. But so shout out to We in Miami, because yeah, they had the video of the clip that we saw. I really hope that she ends up in the graces of her family, and that she gets to be around people who actually love and genuinely care about her. So I'm sure, as I've said many a time, Wendy Williams is a mentor in my head. She is definitely someone who has inspired me to really get into the whole YouTube podcasting space and spill the tea. Not like how she does, but in my own way. So yes, Wendy has always been, as she would say, a friend in my head. She's been a mentor in my head. So I'm praying for her. I'm hoping that she gets, the freedom that she does, she deserves. She gets to go and be with her family. And once she does get to be with her family, I really hope that the family does what they need to do to take care of her and don't be taking advantage of her like them damn people over there is taking advantage of her that's making money off of her. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story in regard to Wendy cussing out the people that have been her court-appointed guardians, or whatever the case is? So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.